Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff. We have a liftoff.
Hey everybody, this is the Digital Asset Investor, and I really do appreciate Dark Defender. Look at this. X, please unsuspend digital asset buy, which was my handle. Hashtag free DAI. Love it. Thank you. The first break just arrived. XRP close to the mid resistance, 55 cents. Still following applies bull flag. So apparently 0.555 above, to be precise. So that's where this thing takes off, is if it stays above 55 cents. Invalidation at 54 cents below. And it doesn't, I guess we could skyrocket straight up right here. That's what we want to do from here. But I don't see any numbers on it, but there's some numbers here though. Don't you worry. Check this out. This guy right here is apparently like an old school, joined in 2015, 2.2 million followers, Bitcoin OG since 2015, but he's got some interesting things to say here, folks. Been observing Ripple's operations since the SEC win in July. I can't help but applaud the team for staying focused on their commitment to the XRP community. Few projects recover from such a drawn-out legal battle that cost them $200 million, but we've seen the Ripple team announcing several impactful partnerships and integrations, including an increased use of Ripple payments with Bitstamp and Bitso as payment corridors. In 2 weeks, we've seen 22% bounce from its August dip, and the reasons are not far-fetched. Their partnership with Uphold brings more liquidity to the Ripple ecosystem, and that's just one growth catalyst for XRP's price growth. Ripple has begun expanding XRP utilities on XRP Ledger with plans to accommodate trading of NFTs. They could be dipping their hands into the $1.6 billion cookie jar. And with more developments and projects like Sum Wallet steadily pouring into the XRP ledger and gaining upwards of 600,000 users in 3 months, XRP will grow massively. If I'm being honest, I'd say that XRP price isn't as far from $1 or $10 as we think. Looking at the current ecosystem developments, I believe that this guy is directly over the target, and I believe $10 to $20 XRP is in play. When this thing goes, it's going to go. Now, Brad Garlinghouse was utterly disgusted by this Jay Clayton clip. This guy is a piece of work, folks. These people have no shame whatsoever. Brad Garlinghouse says, watching this clip makes my blood boil. The hypocrisy is shocking. CNBC Squawk Box should be calling him out for the bullshit. As a reminder, Jay Clayton brought the case against Ripple, me, and Chris Larson and left the building the next day.
Let's take this to a...
And now he worked, keep in mind, now he he replaced Leon Black, who had to step down because of his ties to the island guy, you know, the guy that we'll talk about in my member group here in a minute. But he replaced him, and all the companies he's involved with are Bitcoin, Ethereum focused. Go figure.
High level.
And he acts like he was an innocent bystander, like he wasn't at the SEC to approve a Bitcoin ETF for all those years.
Regulatory side, what you're hearing from the leaders of the regulatory organizations is, if we're not losing cases, if we're not being pushed back on by the courts, we're not doing enough. Think about that for a second. That is a fundamental shift in how we as Americans view the role of the government. I don't want to be in a place where I know the government is going to bring cases they think they're going to lose. Imagine you're the person who is the subject of that case. Now, we're talking about corporations.
Yeah, to see if they can, and if they're not stopped, they're going to, yeah.
Right, but this is an ethos now, which is, unless we're losing, we're not bringing enough cases. You know, that may be fine for private litigants against each other and think about it, but when you have the power of the state, and you're supposed to only bring cases and only make rules that you think are going to pass judicial muster.
That's rich. Now this is the full clip from that. Listen to this.
So Bitcoin was up 25% in like 4 days. And we had an SEC.
Yeah, that's where I was going next. Go ahead.
We had an SEC official on who said, it's crazy to me that we haven't already, that the SEC hasn't okayed a spot. But she also said,
spot ETF.
Spot ETF for Bitcoin. But she also said, but these people, these other three people are never, basically said we're never going to do it. So people that the Rorschach, people saw, one side saw her say, it's insane that it hasn't been okay. The other side said, well, these people that I'm working on the serving with are not going to do it. Why was it up 25%, and is it still inevitable this year?
Yeah, well, I've said it's inevitable.
This year?
Okay.
You should never give a time and a
You're right. I mean, I'm learning from you.
Yeah. Right. Don't give a time and a prediction.
No, the issues that were in doubt, is trading manipulative? And for a time period, people thought 90% of trading in Bitcoin was wash trading, ladder trading, or otherwise manipulative. Is there enough data about trading? Do we have enough data about overall supply and how it operates? All of those questions, in addition to what Bitcoin is classified.
In addition to the fact that I, Jay Clayton, am now in a position to make money off of this.
Which is a commodity, CFTC, SEC agree. They've all been decided. So the questions that were, what I would say, and so doubt in my mind. Look, I was not comfortable approving a Bitcoin ETF when those questions were open. But I think now they've been decided.
Now that I'm in a position to benefit from it, it's now all ready.
But what she said, that it's totally illogical that it hasn't been done yet.
Right. I would echo that. And I don't know whether Bitcoin's going to be worth a lot or a little, but we're at a point where the market can decide.
But Jay, let me ask you this then.
That's interesting.
Are you of the view that what you're seeing here, because we have BlackRock on the docket and Fidelity and some of these big names, I think a lot of people seem to take great comfort in the idea that a BlackRock is the one asking or Fidelity is the one asking, and that it's not, Grayscale, which is a smaller firm that's been asking for this.
FTX.
That somehow is a distinction, and that somehow the SEC is going to look upon them more favorably because of who they are or because they have relationships with. Like, how does that actually work in practice? Do you get this application from BlackRock and you go, geez, because it's coming from BlackRock, I should probably do this? Or do you say it doesn't matter that you're BlackRock or you're the lovely guy behind here who serves coffee outside?
Let's give the SEC staff some credit. That's not how they look at it. What is the BlackRock, Fidelity, what is it indicia of? A deeper exploration of the issues that we just talked about. There has been back and forth dialogue with people who have applications, demonstrate that trading is efficacious, demonstrating that people can have the data, demonstrate that there's a way to hold this, right, so that,
It's all so fishy, isn't it? But in my private group, I give you, it's not necessarily my theory, but it's somebody else's theory as to why all these guys are taking marching orders on Bitcoin all the time. It never has made any sense to me. In fact, I told my private group, I remember all the way from 2013, I would send those stupid Bitcoin transactions. And to this day, to my knowledge, and you get all these confirmations. I'm like, well, why would you do that? If you can send XRP and it's in seconds and it gets there, it always works. And you don't have to deal with all that. And it also has a limited supply. It's just relative limited supply. And so these guys, there's more going on with the whole Bitcoin and why Wall Street and all has promoted it. In my member group, you'll find out what the more going on is. And then John Deaton says, I got called a conspiracy theorist for providing a timeline of facts that's never been refuted or even disputed to this day, especially how ETH got a free pass. People associated with ETH and Consensus called me a conspiracy theorist, which confused me because all you had to do is read the speech and no one would disagree. If you read the Hinman speech itself, it says, and putting aside the fundraising that accompanied the creation of Ether, the speech made clear the SEC was setting aside the unregistered securities offers, but described Ethereum today as a non-security. When I provided the indisputable facts, I actually stated I agreed ETH itself was not a security. I also disclosed at the time that I owned 4 times more in Ethereum than I did XRP. Yet I was still labeled a grand conspiracy theorist. Is Novogratz one as well? And here's the video.
I think Gary's going to be fair. He's very smart.
Bitcoin is going to get a free pass, and so that's great. I think Ethereum gets a free pass. That's great. What's up in question is all the other issuance, DeFi tokens, the other protocols, and we're going to wait to see how he what his body language and what his first writings on that stuff are. Listen,
then we have this one. I'm not going to play the video, but I wanted to show you. This is an interesting timeline. 2009, Bitcoin launched retail focused, right in the middle of the financial crisis. 2015, JP Koning's blog post on FedCoin. 16 CBDC conference, Frankfurt. 2000, basically talking about the progression towards Ukraine, how the Ukraine crisis and disconnecting from SWIFT, and how it's almost like all these are falling down like dominoes to get the CBDC, get a Bitcoin ETF maybe, announce that, get the retail, keep them happy, and then all of a sudden in comes CBDC. The only question then would be, would they allow Bitcoin to live after that? Now, this is going to be good, folks, okay? At DAIXRP.com, where my private group is, which I'm going into now, this week we're going to do a Zoom party, okay? Me and then Brad Combs and his group are going to be there too. So we're going to combine them. We're going to drop a Zoom link in our private member groups, and then we haven't decided which day yet. But if you want to join up and come get involved in that, we're starting to do a lot of different things, but you get a lot more content in there. And today you're going to find out why I think all these Wall Street people have all been in lockstep on the Bitcoin thing that just never made any sense to me. We'll talk to you later. I'm the digital asset investor. I'm not an investment advisor. This is for entertainment purposes only. Please tell your friends and family that at DAIXRP.com, I will be with Brad Combs doing we're going to be doing a Zoom proper party this week, only in our member groups. So go to DAIXRP, and then Brad's, you can go to digperspectives.com to join his. From either one of them, you'll be able to, either one or both, you'll be able to watch the members only Zoom, and you can wear your members only jacket in there if you like. Thanks for listening.